So Rework just announced Toshi Sling 2.0, and I'm super excited about this release, and I really do think you are going to be too. So how do you improve on a design that was pretty much close to perfect? Well, you listen to your customers, you take that feedback, you go back to the drawing board, and you return with these three beauties right here, Toshi 2.0. So in today's video, I really want to focus on the 5 key differences between the original Toshi 5-liter sling and the new 2.0 series. I want to help you decide which one is going to be the right one for you, or if it's even worth upgrading from the original in case you already own that. And if you want to see the 2 new sizes packed out in this video, please stick around towards the end. That's where I'll be doing that. If you're interested in seeing what fits into the 5-liter sling, I've already done a full in-depth review video of that where I packed this one out. I'm going to drop the link down in the description below, so definitely check that out if you want to see what fits into the 5. But today we're going to be checking out the 2 new sizes. Now, full disclosure, Rework did send these slings to me to test and review and have this video ready for you today, but this is not a paid video. This is not sponsored content. All opinions expressed are my own, and Rework sees this video at the same time you do. We definitely have a lot to talk about today. As always, there are chapter markers down below if you want to skip to a section that's more important to you, but let's get into it. What's up, friends? I'm John and this is Unpack'd. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. If you like gear review videos, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can hang out again in the future. And if you want to support the channel, there's some affiliate links in the description. There's no additional cost to you, but that helps me reinvest back into the channel. I appreciate it. So Rework is a small, relatively new carry company. They're a brother-sister duo out of the Bay Area, and they've just taken the carry community by storm with their Toshi series that features, of course, these slings and the new Toshi pack that came out earlier this year. I also reviewed that. I'll leave that link in the description below if you want to check that out as well. Toshi is actually the Japanese word for city, and these slings were definitely designed with that city carry, that urban style carry in mind. So they're going to maintain aesthetically everything from the original Toshi line. So it's a form factor that you already know and love, but if you're not familiar with Toshi, that's why they're going to be very sleek, very minimal on the outside. They're meant to blend into the city, not really stick out, kind of go under the radar, that type of carry gear. So let's start with the most obvious upgrade to Toshi 2.0, and that's going to be the addition of 2 new sizes, the 2.5 liter and the 6 liter. Of course, we're still going to have the 5-liter sling that we all know and love, but I thought it was an interesting choice to have a 5-liter and a 6-liter. So I think, I'm speaking on my behalf, I haven't asked the designers themselves, but I think the choice to have a 5-liter and a 6-liter was, this is the original form factor, this is the one the designers know and love, but they wanted to give a little bit of flexibility to those who wanted to carry an 11-inch iPad or the new Nintendo Switch. Those devices will fit into the 6-liter. It's kind of strange because when you see brands offer different sizes, you'll see the 2.5, you'll see a 5, and then we'll see a jump to like maybe an 8-liter. So it's going to put you in a very comparison analysis, I would say, or a very choice dilemma if you're debating between the 5 and 6, but hopefully I'll help you decide which one is going to be right for you today. So that 6-liter is definitely going to be worth it if you want that 11-inch iPad or Nintendo Switch 2 to fit. So this 2.5-liter size is actually perfect for me for everyday carry. It's what I chose to run my errands with. It's just perfect to have phone, wallet, keys, and a few extra items that I like to carry, like a pocket knife and a flashlight. But you're actually going to be very surprised on what this 2.5-liter can hold. Again, we're going to demonstrate that at the pack out section of the video, so stay tuned for that as well. So the next upgrade feature to the Toshi 2.0, it's probably the most requested one, and it's actually one of the only negatives that I knocked it for in my original review, is that it didn't have a top carry handle. Now all 3 sizes include a top carry handle, and I can tell you right now, this is a welcome change and probably my favorite upgrade feature to the bag in general. Now, I specifically have been using this one a lot lately, the 6-liter sling, but I can tell you from using this one and of course the 5-liter, that the handle is welcome across the board. So the new handle is just a piece of nylon webbing across the top. It is smooth, that seatbelt style of webbing. It's very thin, it is not padded, but trust me, just having that there alone makes the overall user experience that much better no matter what size you're choosing. So number 3 on the upgrade list for Toshi 2.0 is the exterior material is now an 840D nylon. That's up from the original 420D. They literally doubled up the D's on us, and that D stands for denier. Now denier is actually a measurement of weight of what the strands of yarns weigh. So when you have a tighter strand and the yarns are heavier, you're gonna get that 840D, and these are a little bit lighter. So what does that mean for you in person and in the hand? So in the hand, the 420D is definitely softer, that's noticeable. But the 840D is still gonna be plenty malleable. You're still gonna be able to take advantage of the expansion and the compression style that this bag offers, because it's not super stiff like an X-Pack or an Ultra. So it's still plenty malleable, but it's noticeably different in thickness and in weight as well. So it's gonna be a little bit heavier here, and I'm gonna weigh it here in just a sec so we can see exactly how much weight we gained from the original line. So what I've learned is that consumer grade backpacks and products like stuff you find in Walmart and Target and cheaper bags on Amazon, they usually hover around the 100 to 200 denier. So the original 420D was already overkill. So now that we're at 840D, we're moving into that industrial, that military application, that heavy duty application stuff. More than what you need for a sling, so have full faith that these slings are gonna be very, very durable. And I've actually had the pleasure of owning and testing every single product that Rework has actually put out, and the quality of the new 2.0 series of slings is just fantastic, on par with everything you're used to seeing. So if you're already familiar with the Toshi pack or the Toshi original Toshi sling, you're going to be ecstatic to know that the quality remains the same, but the materials have just gotten better. So to determine what the actual weight penalty is for moving up to the 840D nylon, the original Toshi sling weighed in at 0.8 pounds, and the new 840D version weighs in at 0.9 pounds. So as you can see for yourself, the weight penalty in moving up to an 840 denier material for the exterior is very, very, very small, and in return, you're gonna get a very much more durable bag. Upgrade feature number 4 for Toshi 2.0 is actually gonna be the carry strap, and probably the second most requested upgrade item for this series. The original strap, a lot of people complained that it was a little bit scratchy, a little bit too rough, especially around the neck area. So happy to report that we've now moved into a smooth nylon twill. It's going to be similar to what you would find on the seatbelt of a car. Very smooth, and on the 6 liter, we're actually getting a padded version of the shoulder strap. So we're still gonna get that 1.5 inch thick strap that you know and love, and it's gonna be great for the 2 and the 5 liter. It's gonna be great for weight distribution, but adding the strap to the 6 liter was a pro move, because now that you can fit that 11 inch iPad, that Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, you're definitely gonna be carrying more weight. You might be more inclined to carry a larger camera in here. So pro move on adding the shoulder strap. And the good thing about the strap, that it's actually removable from the strap. So if you're carrying a light load and have this really compressed, you don't want this shoulder strap, you can easily take it off. Now when it comes to the pad itself, it is very nicely padded. You have that softer underside kind of breathable mesh on the bottom, and of course the same material as that 840D on the outside. So of course it's going to match your bag very well. So right now at the time of launch, the padded shoulder strap is only coming with the 6 liter version of the Toshi. Now if people do want the strap available for purchase to add to the 5 liter or even the 2 liter, even though I don't think it needs it, definitely let Rework know. If they get enough interest, they'll probably make it available for purchase separately. But as of right now, you can only get the padded shoulder strap with this 6 liter size. And upgrade number 5 is still continuing onto the strap, is the gatekeepers have been upgraded. Now, this is one of the smaller updates, but again, it's still a quality of life update. I actually didn't realize how difficult the original gatekeepers were when adjusting the bag, because once you adjust the bag, you kind of set it and forget it. And when I was getting this strap off to come back and do this review, I was like, I just forgot how painful it is to operate these original gatekeepers. So the new ones are super easy. You're still using that Wuben hardware. They're just a different style of Wuben buckle. You still have that no pinch buckle on there as well, but honestly, I've never used this buckle ever. When I take my sling off, I just take the whole strap over my head, but that buckle is still there. This gatekeeper, super smooth, super easy to use. I mean, just look, you can push it in, and with just my thumb, I can just push it in, and then the gatekeeper opens up. Demonstrate that for you again. Push it in, gatekeeper opens up, and to close it, you can just slide it over the top. With the original, it is a pain. It is a chore to get it open and a chore to get it closed. It works, but definitely a lot smoother experience with the new Wuben Gatekeeper. Again, all of these upgrades are just little quality of life upgrades, but man, it just makes the user experience that much more enjoyable. So when it comes to the overall layout and aesthetic, like I mentioned at the top of the video, everything remains the same. We still have a 4-compartment sling. So this is the 2.5 liter, but it's still laid out the exact same way. You have that rain flap up front and the opening compartment. It does have some nice volume. You see these darts here on the side that gives it some independent volume. I do have my key leash in the front. This is where I moved it to. The key leash is still removable, and you're still going to get 4 places to mount this key leash, 1 in every compartment. So on the front compartment, you have it here. On the top quick access pocket, you're going to have it on the inside there to attach your key leash. And on the main compartment, you're going to have the key leash attachment point there at the top. And then in the back, like wallet security area, you're going to have the key leash right there as well. So we still have the 4-compartment sling that we know and love from the original Toshi. The difference here on the 2.5 liter is going to be the AirTag slot is going to be here on the front versus where on the other 5 and 6 liter sling is going to be on the inside of this pocket here. And one thing to note on the 2.5 liter is that it actually only has 2 connection points up top. So when you get to the 5 liter and the 6 liter size, you see you have 2 connection points at the top for you to put the sling, and you can wear it in standard mode or an offset mode, and you're not going to have that on the 2.5 liter size. But you still have the side hooks here where you can put the sling, so you can still offset the sling some if you really wanted to. And of course at the bottom of the Toshi you still have these 2 little clips because you still get the compression straps that deploy from the bottom on all 3 sizes. So again, super easy to hook up into to deploy if you want to carry an umbrella, you want to carry a jacket. So they're all going to be the same size compression straps, and they're all going to tuck away the same way on the inside pocket with magnets. Nothing's changing on that end. Now the inside main compartment is the only area where you get some organizations, and you still have those 2 elevated pockets, and these are really great for keeping your gear off the bottom. So like AirPods, they stay floating at the top. They're not fighting with space down at the bottom. Super smart layout, and it has made really one of the key features of the Toshi. Even on the quick access pocket, you can see it floats up at the top. So because of that bottom can fold flat and then fully expand to the rectangular, you can put a lot of stuff down at the bottom and not worry about your smaller gear getting lost. Now this 2.5 liter size will fit an iPad mini and of course your largest cell phones. This is a 15 Pro Max replica, and to show you how it easily fits back into the padded tech sleeve on the back of this sling. And even though this is the smallest of the Toshi bags, it will accept a standard 16-ounce water bottle, one that you would find at a convenience store. It'll fit down in the bottom. How crazy is that? This little sling holds an entire bottle of water, and you still have room. I got my lighter up here at the front. I can put my Pun Cube wallet still in the back because these back pockets do slide all the way down to the back there, and still room on the inside to toss in things like my Anchor portable battery there. That one's the MagSafe portable battery. And then in the pocket up front, now this was a pocket very popular with sunglasses, and I'm happy to report that sunglasses, I have them in this little microfiber sleeve, but sunglasses will still fit up into the top quick access pocket. Now it's going to pretty much take up all the room of that pocket, but your glasses are nice and safe in there. They're elevated, they're not competing with space with that water bottle or anything in there. So very nice size for this 2.5 liter. You still have that front pocket where I can attach my keys. And I still have room in that front pocket where I can toss in my Wuben G5 flashlight. I've learned from experience that having a dedicated light source is just so valuable on the times that I need it. Very much brighter, very easy to use, better than your cell phone light for sure. On the backside pocket, it's still large enough for you to carry a passport if you're traveling with the 2.5 liter size. I have my Wayfinder passport cover book here. It'll easily fit on the backside with the wallet and everything in case you're traveling with the Toshi 2.5 liter. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tech specs for you up on the screen for the 2.5 liter. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at any of those numbers. Now, I do feel packed out and what this sling can hold. I kind of feel it's more like a 3.5 liter sling. Now, even though you can put some heavier items in there like that water bottle, it does still come with that 1.5 inch strap. So it is a good size for weight distribution. This sling carried very comfortably. Now it is going to be best used in across the back, across the chest mode, not really as a fanny pack or a hip pack, anything of that nature, but overall, even loaded up with heavy things like a water bottle, it carried quite well. And of course, because it still has that rectangular expansion bottom that we know and love from Toshi, it stands very well on its own, and just overall just holds a lot more than the eye would lead you to believe. So moving into the 6 liter size, again, I'm gonna throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at those numbers right there. But again, aesthetically and layout wise, it is exactly the same as the 2.5 and the 5 liter sling. There's only differences are gonna be in the front pocket, whereas you just have a dump pocket on the other two slings. Here you actually have 2 stretch mesh pockets on the front. This is the feature that I was surprised to see, and I actually enjoyed having a little bit of organization in this big front pocket, especially on this larger size. It was a welcome sight. I mean, it is a giant pocket, so those two really come in handy. I think with the 6 liter size, what are you gaining, like an inch in height, a half inch in width, so it makes quite a bit more usable volume, so the organization was welcome there. The only other pocket change on the 6 liter size that it has over the other two is on the main compartment. You do have a dedicated pin loop here at the side here. So this is something that the other two sizes don't have. Everything else is going to remain the same. You're going to have no outside branding. You have number 8 YKK DWR coated zip. So between the PU coating of the 840D, the inside material is still the same 210 ripstop that you've seen on the original Toshi. It's also PU coated. So between the PU coating on the outside, the inside, and the DWR coating on the zippers, it's gonna make all 3 of the Toshi sizes pretty water resistant, fairly water resistant. Now they're not gonna be waterproof, but they're gonna hold up pretty well, better than you would expect. Now I don't have an 11-inch iPad, I have an old school 10-inch iPad, and while I was able to fit this into the original 5 liter Toshi, it was tight AF. On the 6 liter size, it easily fits down into the tech sleeve. Tech sleeve is still padded, very nice padded down in there. And because you're gaining that extra width and that little bit extra height, this thing will swallow a whole 26-ounce Yeti water bottle. I mean, just crazy how it just fits in there. Now it does take up majority of the space, but just in case you're curious, it will hold your entire 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. And if you're some sort of madman, your 32-ounce Nalgene will easily fit down in there as well. So of course, with this kind of capacity, this opens up this sling to being used as a camera sling. But do note, there is still no padding down at the bottom, so you run the risk of if you slam your bag down too hard and you're using it as a camera sling, that's just something you're gonna have to be aware of. Just be careful when putting your bag down. There is no additional padding down at the bottom. And of course, you don't want padding down at the bottom there, because that's how this sling is able to compress and expand so discreetly. You still have the magnetic pocket at the bottom, and you still have your compression straps there, and they tuck away, stow away there when not in use. And one thing to mention is that these slings are still all compatible with the additional stabilizer strap. So if you're doing any kind of cycle commuting by bicycle, especially if you're using the larger sizes, definitely you might want to pick up the stabilizer strap to keep this pack stable as you're riding your bike. Or if you're doing some light hiking, you don't want this thing swinging back and forth. I mean, we did see you can carry an entire water bottle in there as well. My 20 ounces, what I would use, fits down there nice at the bottom. So again, if you want to keep that pack from swinging around on you, definitely pick up the stabilizer strap as an additional accessory. Now with this front pocket offering some additional organization, it was a great place to put stuff like snacks, my protein bar, my pack of gum. I could carry my lighter on the other side. I mean, just nice to have that little bit of organization. Also carry my Ikigai vitamin case. And again, I move my key leash to the front. That's just where I prefer to carry my keys. I failed to mention that this carabiner is aluminum, so a very nice premium touch to add there. So the top pocket on the 6-liter is very, very generous. Your sunglasses, no problem. Your wallet, everything you can just fit up at that top quick access pocket. Everything you need quick access to, your chapstick. I mean, just, you still got so much room in there. And then in case you're not carrying a water bottle, because that's not something you would always do, over the ear headphones would actually fit. So these are the XM6s, so they actually fold up quite nice, but even if you're using a pair that don't unfold, they would fit unfolded all the way in there. Now, to be clear, they also fit in the 5-liter, but it just feel more comfortable in the 6-liter. So if I were to fold those up, I can actually take my over-the-ear headphones, and because I have more room in these larger pockets, I can actually take my full-size flashlight. I can take my pocket knife. I mean, just so much room on the 6-liter version. I can actually carry my entire first aid kit that I use. This is my D-Made Slim Stubby, will fit down in there, very nice. I mean, just so much room. I got my Wayfinder, Forest Bass notebook. I mean, you can just carry so much stuff, and this bag can get really weighted, especially if you're carrying a water bottle, you're carrying a camera. So definitely glad they included the shoulder pad for that extra comfort, because you're definitely going to need it with this sling here. And then of course, look how big the pocket is on the back, so you're going to have no problem carrying, again, your passport, my Wayfinder passport book there. So on the 5 and the 6-liter sling, the AirTag pocket is going to be on this back pocket, so you can easily slip the AirTag or the tracker of your preference into that envelope right there. So nice, discreet, you don't even know it's there. I actually forgot to add my portable battery bank. So when these larger slings, I like to use my bigger, bulkier one, because this one is awesome. This is the Anker 3-in-1, 30 watts of charging, built-in plug, built-in USB-C. This is the champ for sure. So when I have the room, this is the one that's definitely coming with me. I mean, just so much room. This makes the 6-liter size, even the 5-liter size, the perfect in-flight companion, perfect flight bag, boarding bag, whatever you want to call it. This is why the Toshi is my go-to when traveling. Now, if you've spoken to me in any capacity, whether that be down in the comments, Instagram, or in Reddit, you already know that the Toshi Sling is one of my favorite pieces of gear ever. Not just my favorite sling, one of my favorite pieces of gear. And all the updates seen on the Toshi 2.0, I think are very thoughtful. I think they're a direct response to customer feedback and overall reviews of the sling. So this just goes to show you that your input matters, and definitely let makers know what did and what didn't work for you. Of course, be nice about it. Don't be jerks. They're people too, you know what I mean? But they're definitely listening, and this is just a perfect example of a company that listens to its customers. Overall, I think the Toshi Sling at $79, $89, and $109 are still some of the best value slings on the market, hands down. I really don't know what can compare to them. High value, pretty low cost of entry, I would say, given everything that you're gonna get in return. Now, if you're somebody who's looking for that small everyday carry, run errands type sling, the 2.5 liter is going to be perfect for you. It can remain super slim to hold your essentials, but if say you want to stop into the convenience store or gas station and grab a bottle of water, you can easily carry it in your sling as well. Now, the true dilemma comes between the 5 and 6 liter. Now, if you have the iPad 11-inch or the Nintendo Switch 2, no brainer, 6-liter Toshi Sling is going to be for you. Now, if you don't own those things, the 5-liter sling is going to be perfect for you. It's going to be the best, travel companion as well. But also, if you want to future-proof yourself, because maybe you upgrade that iPad in the future, or you do decide to buy the Nintendo Switch. For me personally, I don't own those items, but I found myself leaning towards the 6-liter sling. I didn't mind the extra inch of height, the extra ½ inch of width that you get. It's a little bit more space than I needed, but I liked having that extra space for more of a just in case. So, maybe one day I have my 10-inch iPad in there. Maybe one day I decide to upgrade to that 11-inch iPad. My Toshi Sling will still be compatible. Now, one of the cons to the bag, I mean, I'm really stretching here because they've really fixed every nitpick that I had about the bag, is that it's just available in black. Now, I spy with my little eye that Rework made a comment that they are making plans to introduce some colors maybe early next year, so keep your eye out for that. But as of right now, the Toshi series still remains that sleek, clean, minimally aesthetic black bag that you already know and love from the original Toshi line. Now, if you want to know something specific about any of these Toshi Slings, please leave your comment down below. Again, of course, the goal of this channel is to always help you find the gear that's right for you. So I'm not perfect. I probably missed something. If you want to know about it, ask your question down below. But more importantly, tell me what you think about the upgrades to Toshi 2.0. I know this bag has gained a cult following, so there's going to be some opinions, probably some heavy ones, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm over the moon, super ecstatic with all of the upgrades that happened here with the 2.0. I think it took this sling from a 9.9 to a perfect 10. This is just such an amazing sling. Great quality, great feature set, and I'm continuing to enjoy this sling overall, especially the new 6-liter size. If you made it this far in this video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I want to give a special thank you to Rework for sending these slings out for me to test and review. And honestly, just thank you for sticking around and vibing with me. And I hope I can see you again on my next review.